Well, good day, everybody. This is Charmaine Miller again, your running partner on this journey of lifelong learning and continual growth. Now, because you've shown up here again today, it tells me this, that you are still excited about the commitments you made for this year. And not only that, you're following through by taking one step at a time. That's how we do it. Way to go. And last week, I offered you 3 tips to help you kind of navigate a work environment that might be marred by a manipulating leader, perhaps even a toxic leader, a supervisor. So just to recap, we mentioned that you should first acknowledge that the leader might have some deeper issues, some deeper concerns, and this helps you to not put it all on yourself or think something's wrong with you. Besides acknowledging, we also mentioned that you must ask questions to get them to see your viewpoint. Lead with questions. And thirdly, we talk about accessing your rights and then, of course, acting on them. Now, today, I want to make sure that we know what a manipulator looks like. I don't want to take it for granted because, you see, some of you might be hooked on the idea that a manipulator is repulsive, rude, and perhaps even overbearing and vindictive, maybe even dogmatic. Yeah. The ones who are like this make it easy to identify them. But guess what? This is not always the case. For manipulators, it's all about control. Their objective is to control and influence others' actions and behaviors. Now, to do this, they would go to the extent of abusing their authority or their responsibilities, even overstepping acceptable boundaries, especially in the workplace where they feel as if they can flex their stuff, At times, they might use things like concealed threats. Now, let me see if this rings a bell. Don't forget that I am the one completing your performance evaluation. Might I remind you that the pen is mightier than the sword? I saw the jaw drop open. Looks like you can identify with that one, huh? I think that hit close to home. My. Well, they may even use lies or distortion of the facts, saying maybe that, you neglected to complete a report, when in fact, it's sitting right there on their desk, or somewhere they probably hid it. Other times, if they're not using threats or lies, you might find manipulators resorting to emotional blackmail. If you can't come to school on Saturday or one day on Sunday to prepare your classroom, you can't say you value your students. You can't love your students. You can't love teaching. Have you ever had your emotions played with like that? If they are not blackmailing, you might hear manipulators using deceitful yet persuasive language. I tell you this, if you've ever witnessed a leader deflecting the issue at hand when confronted, you're talking about one particular thing and they're deflecting as if it's not important, or they're discrediting others, then you may have very well been in contact with a manipulator. Maybe you've heard something like, I don't know why your team leader can't get her act together. She's so disorganized. Now they're saying this and the team leader isn't even there. Not nice. The disheartening thing about all of this, my colleagues, is that manipulators seldom realize that they're doing this. And some of them might truly need professional help to overcome it. Now, of course, this doesn't make their actions right now. I'm just saying a lot of them are doing it. But the reason they seem to be doing it on autopilot with their manipulation is because they are so fixed on feeding their own insecurities, even satisfying the misconception that they have in their mind that life has to be about struggling with other people for survival. They have to get over on someone. We like to call this here in the Bahamas the black crab syndrome. Like if we don't bring someone else down or pull someone else down, then we can't get up. And it doesn't have to be like that. But the manipulators, to them, if it's not a battle, then it's not happening. Yeah, they're kind of addicted to struggle. You might be asking, where does this leave us then? Where does this leave you? Well, great question. Let me leave you with 3 practical tips to consider. These tips will allow you to perform what I would like to call CPR on yourself, okay? You heard me correct. These 3 tips will encourage you to look within rather than focus your efforts on a manipulating and toxic leader, all right? So the first in the CPR would be confidence. Increase your confidence. Now, you may not realize this, but manipulative people, they seldom bother with individuals who are full of self-confidence. Now, I didn't say full of themselves. That's a different story, okay? Now, their victims tend to be those that they believe they can emotionally crush. They can crush them easily. So look yourself in the mirror and make some positive affirmations to recondition your brain and to change how you feel and think about yourself, all right? And even if you have a good self-confidence, then it doesn't hurt to make it even stronger, all right? Before you head to work, maybe look in the mirror and affirm some things. I am competent. Yeah, say that. I am competent, smart, and capable. I love the person I am becoming. I am bold and courageous. I am a winner. Now, if you need some help in this area, you need to check out my good friend, Dr. Kim Philip Rowe. Check out her book of affirmation. She has a book called Say It Until You Seize It. We call her the affirmation queen. And trust me, when you read a book, you'll see why. So get working on increasing your self-confidence. The second thing in the CPR equation is professionalism. Intensify your professionalism. Listen, whatever you do, you must remember to respond with decorum and a demeanor of a consummate professional. When I think of a professional, especially in education, I think of someone who treats others with respect. As simple as that. They keep their word. They are loyal. They aim at exceeding expectations. To me, this is a professional. Those elements, I believe, define a professional attitude. Now, this attitude, truly, it disarms manipulators from using inappropriate and unenforceable habits in their dealings with you. So beef up on your professionalism, all right? Now, the R in our CPR equation is improve your readiness. Now, if you're doing your job well, you make it increasingly difficult for manipulating leaders to use their tactics with you. So ensure that you are ready to carry out your roles and responsibilities with precision. Don't just settle on the strategies you used 8 years ago. Increase your competency level by availing yourself of workshops, webinars, research articles, books, and all kinds of things to increase your skill. Increase the skill set, and in doing so, you make a way for the manipulator leader to leave you alone. And perhaps they might find themselves taking notes from you. So before you take up the challenge to confront a manipulating leader, be sure that you perform CPR on you and do so continually. Increase your confidence, intensify your professionalism, and improve your readiness. If this video has challenged you to adopt some success habits, feel free to share it, tag a friend, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Proactive Skill Developers, to catch all of our upcoming videos. Then take a few seconds and type a note about what resonated with you. We always appreciate hearing from you. In the meantime, let's choose to keep learning and growing, because what we learn becomes a part of who we are. And like Einstein says, once we stop learning, we start dying. So, never stop learning, because my friend, as you know, life never stops teaching. Until next time, to your success.